Welcome back to Point Blank, and we're talking about peidu mamas brought under the spotlight recently because of the Yishun triple murders, which involved 2 peidu mamas and their daughters. Well, in the living room we have Suhua, a Chinese mainlander who is also a peidu mama, and also Mei Lin, who has no qualms about mixing with peidu mamas. In fact, she organizes weekly gatherings for people like Suhua in her own home.
And just now we listened to what Li Xing said. She says that it's very difficult for her to have an illness in Singapore and she's alone. 所以就是如果你自己一个人在新加坡，然后你又生病，你要怎么应付这个状况呢？
如果是我一个人，我会马上回家，一点都不会犹豫，我会马上回家，因为我好像中国人有就是骨子里面嘛，就是留恋故土。但是我们带着孩子在这边牵扯的方方面面太多，有时候就不可以。所以我们就是咬紧牙关在这边死挨了。
Okay, what Suhua is saying is she will go back home, but there are other things to consider, like her child who is here studying. So she can't just say she want to go and she goes. She still have to stay back in Singapore. But Mei Lin, what do you think? Like, what do you think are the difficulties they face when they have an illness in Singapore?
Well, if they have an illness, they like once in a while, some of them they sick, then they call us. Even in the midnight, we just send them to the hospital and we pay the hospital bill for them. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so you have met with cases like that?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We go back about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock because you have to wait, a long queue. Yeah.
Okay. So in your home, you have many of these China nationals. What's the sort of the sense you get among them, especially after the Yishun triple murders? What have you heard from this community?
Are they upset over the whole issue?
Are they frightened? Are they, what are they feeling?
Well, it's among them that they talk. But normally when we come to my place there, I don't listen to them talking about this case very much, because the issue that they are facing right now is their own physical problems, that they need to face. It's a fact for them to live every day, And Yishun, the issue to them, you have to ask her then. For me, I no comment.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Cervantes on our web comments is saying that, of course, the high-profile crime-related cases, well, it's not helping the profile of our mainland friends. Okay, 我们一个观众说，我们最近的那些谋杀案等等，对你们来说也是有很多不利的那个影响。那么你自己个人说，你看到这种新闻的时候，你感想是怎么样？
看到这种新闻，我就是说，基本上我们来说没有时间关心这些事情了。但是如果搞得很大的话，它动静很大，我们就或者去小组或者去教会，他们就讲哇，哪里又杀了人了，又是杀了什么样的人，我就说，哦哟，整天搞这种事情，这些人真是，为什么这个国家现在好像感觉好像针对我们中国女人这样？好像对我不知道怎么回事，就是我们中国人就是好像对他们来讲有的没的就往我们中国女人身上扯。
那你自己本身就是有遇到这种不好的事情吗？就是本地人对你？
应该是没有，因为我是出去早上，因为我女儿刚过来的时候，她就跟我讲，妈妈你不可以早上我上学之前你要在我后面出门，然后呢我放学回来我要看到你在家，你不可以比我早出门，比我晚回家。
你女儿比你更严格啊。
对啊，所以因为我们就是说我跟我女儿嘛，我们相依为命10几年嘛，一直她爸爸以前是跑远洋的，也是基本上不在家，不在家我们2个人已经习惯了嘛，彼此之间少了谁都不可以。所以假如说可以重新选择的话，我还是会选择新加坡来做陪读妈妈，因为只有这个国家可以不让我们母女分离。你假如说你让她去其他的国家去留学，但是她又不让陪读。我不是说一定要陪读要来做工，但是我要守着我的女儿，因为对中国人来讲，我们一生只能生一个孩子嘛，孩子就是我们全部的希望和寄托嘛。 所以做妈妈的不可以和孩子分开。
What Suhua is saying, she brought up quite a few points. One of it is that she, as a peidu mama, she's simply too busy to actually think much about the Yishun murders, or for that matter, all the negative press that peidu mamas are having in the media. But the fact is that if it blows out of proportion, she feels that she feels that as a community that they're being targeted in this country, and she feels that that's most unfortunate.
And for her herself, she tried to keep at home, she stay at home so that she doesn't mix with the wrong company, that sort of thing. And her daughter was there to discipline her, telling her that I want to see you when I go to school and I want to see you back at home before I come home. Okay, so let's listen to what other Singaporeans feel about peidu mamas in our country. Do you know of any peidu mamas in Singapore?
我不是陪读妈妈，我不知道。
What's your impression of them?
Great woman. They sacrifice a lot.
Sacrifice what?
Their time, their family life. They have to leave their husband back home.
I think their lives are very tough. Why? Because they have to support the child and at the same time have to work.
I'm sure you get all sorts, from the really good to the, to the not so good, right?
They should leave.
Why?
Because they're spoiling the culture. They are creating problems for our society.
Yeah, hygiene standards are going down. I can't eat anywhere with the China people because I can't order properly.
What do you think of the stereotypical view of them as troublemakers or husband snatchers?
I think not too fair. We have to be a bit more open-minded and be more accommodating to our people. It's not easy for them to come here to do this.
They can say they are peidu mama when in actual fact they may not be. So, if you are here for the wrong reasons, you can always give a reason, and this could be a convenient thing to say.
Not so fair to generalize everything. I guess we have to know them personally, then we can make any comments about them. So by just reading and then giving them names like that, I think it's very unfair.
So do you think that they are struggling?
Probably, but I think that's their choice. Seriously. I mean, look at the jobs that they're doing. It's really their choice.
Do you think Singaporeans should try to make the environment more comfortable for them?
Well, if they're not making things any more comfortable for us, what's the point?
If you are a landlord, would you rent your house to a peidu mama?
Well, certainly.
You will?
Yeah.
Aren't you afraid of them creating trouble for you?
Well, we have to give them a chance.
So if you have like a spare room to rent out, would you rent?
No. Most of the China people, I don't know, they just give me really bad feelings sometimes.
What kind of bad feelings?
Sneaky, I suppose. Yeah, and I've seen their hygiene standards. It's crazy.
If you were to choose between a Singaporean or a peidu mama, which one would you choose?
I think equally, I guess if it's Singaporeans, they too have their own, they will bring some different set of problems and troubles. I don't think that should be the basis.
Yep, so most of them actually feel that peidu mamas are noble people. So Mei Lin, what do you feel about them in general?
Well, I believe that many of them are very hardworking. They just earn a living for their child and for themselves. And majority they're coming here, of what I find out is mostly a divorce case. Yeah, divorce case. And then they don't have a husband beside them. That's why they come to Singapore. They want to change of an environment and to let the children to have better education. And I think they are really hardworking. What I know one is all very good.
Have you ever met with
the bad one? I don't know.
No?
Well, what do you feel about the point where, the reality is that there have been cases of peidu mamas who have gotten in trouble with the law, or people who have been peidu mamas and they also, they've had instances of, having affairs with married men, as well as people who pretend to be peidu mamas or come to Singapore, studio peidu mamas, borrow other people's kids and sign them on under their own names as, their own children. We have a lot of cases of these rotten apples in our media, and that's the truth.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, so what do you feel? Because you are a person who supports such a community and, who speaks for such a community. So what do you feel about, the reality that it is not something that's cooked up, it's something that's real, that everyday Singaporeans face, everyday people who open up the newspapers read?
Yeah. But I believe that if they meet when they come to Singapore, they meet the correct people, and they lead them correctly, then they will have a very good life, in Singapore. Or maybe, although starting is tough, but then maybe the surrounding friends are all like that, so they don't have a choice, they have to follow. We just call it, follow the group, that's all.
So you're saying create a positive community for them so that
Yes.
so that they would integrate properly and that they
Yeah.
would pick up good habits and all that.
Yes.
Well, that's
They can pick up good habit very quick.
Okay.
If you can teach them the correct way, they will have the correct thinking and all this. And they are really very good. I tell you, the group that is in my house, when they're good, they are very good. Really very good. I really admire it.
What do you mean by
way
very good?
Very good. They keep they work properly and they do things like, let's say, some of them, they are doing housework for people, and they do faithfully. Even the jewelries you put on the table, money put on the table, they never touch one. They will just do their work, and after finish, whatever you have on the table, they don't care. They never touch it. And you can see the sincerity in them. Yeah.